Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and today I'm going to be looking at one of the most requested Pentatonix songs on my list. The two that are above it are both Christmas songs, and while I know a lot of folks start looking into Christmas stuff as soon as Halloween is gone, I flatly refuse to until December. It's one thing for it to be in the stores, it's another thing for me to be creating content. I'm going to be creating content in November anyway, but I'm not going to put it out until December. Anyway, but this is Say Something, and this is a cover of A Great Big World, and later A Great Big World with Christina Aguilera. This is a song I am aware of. I have definitely heard... I don't think I've actually ever heard the original Great Big World. It was only out in the world, as I understand it, for a couple of months before Christina re-recorded it with them, and that's the version that really took off. I know it better from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Where, of course, it was played in the second season. And that's kind of where I think it's probably the first time I consciously heard the whole song from, like, straight through. I have since heard the Christina version straight through. It hadn't really fallen on my table before. It is a great song. I am very interested to see what PTX do with it. I feel like it's going to be awesome. So, yeah. I think this is a cool song. I love the idea. Basically, it was written by and performed by A Great Big World, Ian Axel and Chad King, and it was released. And Christina heard it, loved it, and said, "Hey, I want to do this with you," and had it recorded. A video, I think, had been done all within a couple of months, and it blew up. I don't remember if it hit number one in the US. I know it hit number one in Canada. But it really, really suddenly just became a thing, and it's been covered all over the place, and it's a great song, and so I fully understand it, and I'm very, very keen to see what Pentatonix does with it. So yeah, I don't have a lot more else to say about it. I haven't watched it, the original, or I haven't gone back and watched the Christina version again. I just figured, you know what, we'll see what happens, what they do with it, so I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm just going to say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. The way this works, I'm going to watch this straight through from beginning to end. I will emote and comment over the top of it, and then I will go back and watch it again from the beginning, and this time I will pause, I will interrupt, and I'll offer what commentary and analysis I feel I can, based on what I've seen and heard, and the foreknowledge of having seen it once. Please do like the video, hit that subscribe button down there, nice and tempting red colour, great to hit. That does cost you nothing, does wonderful things for me. You can hit the notification bell to decide how often YouTube tells you I'm posting, and if you would care to, please head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can donate to support the channel if that's something you would like to do, and I do need to say thanks, please, to someone, which, for the uninitiated, is what Buy Me a Coffee says when someone keeps their donation anonymous. Someone and Jen Flynn both recently bought me several coffees, and I am very grateful to you for your donation and support. Thank you very much indeed. It's very kind. I think that's everything. We're just going to jump in on this thing and see. So this is Pentatonix's cover of Say Something.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Oh, the staggered entry is beautiful.
I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Oh, the build. Wow.
I'm feeling so small. Your worries over
Oh, this is love it. The tone
nothing at all.
they've set with their voicing is stunning.
And I will stumble and fall. I'm still learning to love, just starting
Oh, Kirsty's voice is perfect for this.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you.
Oh, such a rich tone.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I will swallow my pride. You're the one that I love, and I'm saying goodbye.
Oh, Arby's tone is beautiful.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. Say something. Say something. I'll be the one if you want me to.
Oh,
Say something. I'm giving up on you.
ooh, this breakdown is just perfect.
Me to say something. I'm giving up on you.
Oh wow, this hits hard.
Be the one if you want me to.
Say something.
Oh, I love. There was a beautiful visual there with Kevin's entry. I'll talk about it later.
I'll be the one if you want me to.
Yes.
Say something, I'm giving up.
Oh, there's a, sort of a keening quality to the sort of whale sound she's got there. I love how they've earned the busyness of this. Oh, yes.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Oh, the last little touch. So good. Okay, that was beautiful. That was what a lovely arrangement. That was really well put together. Let's see if there's any information in their description. I know they're not very good at this. It's usually tour dates, which it is. No information, sadly. I know they're all involved in the arrangements and things like that. I don't. Is that still true this long ago? I assume it would be. Goodness me, look at that, 106 million views. I feel like this deserves more than that, frankly. This came out in 2014, so 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago, because it was February. Also nice, I think, unless my brain is deceiving me, this is the first time I've kind of had an RV focus moment to look at. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. I love his voice. Oops, I did not mean to bring that up without doing this first. For those who are wondering why I just blanked that out, if you're new to my channel, it's just safer for me to do. I keep a lot of tabs open, and some of them are to do with work, and I'm behind NDAs and things like that. And it's just easier for me to blank it out if I accidentally open this without full screening it first. Wow, they've managed to hit a really nice balance in this of being solemn and poignant, and it has a heartbreaking quality to it, but there's just enough levity in the music. it's just there's some beautiful chord resolutions, the voicing they've chosen to use. The build through it builds the emotion really strongly. I think they've hit such a nice balance in this. I really, really like that. Great job. Let's go back, let's watch it again, and I'm going to see what I can tease out of it. This is such a great opening shot. It's kind of got a family photo quality to it, with the, the set sort of being made up of not so much, there's furniture, yes, but there's actually more sort of decorative accoutrement, like picture frames and the ladder, and things that are either used for decorating or to decorate. There's more of that than there is furniture in this shot. Look, we've got 2 chairs. I assume Kevin's probably sitting on a chair as well, or a stool at least. But there's something very kind of we're packing up the house about this, which is great for this song. And the sort of they look together, and I don't mean to imply otherwise in this, but the sort of slightly awkward family photo feel of it is really, really nice for the vibe that they're creating with this. I think they're very good at creating a diorama with their poses and their choices of how they sit. I'm thinking about the other cello number I covered, which was Shallow. And again, they had this there was this more relaxed look to that. There was the strong dialogue between Kirsty and Scott sitting on the couch together. This one, it's more fragmented, and so they've represented that in how they've chosen to sit and stand. And I think that's a really, really smart move, because it just gives a certain tone to what's going on here. And you do get this sense, even though Scott's leaning on the... Okay, so Kevin must be on a chair because Scott's leaning on the back of it. Even though he's doing that, there isn't a sense of togetherness with them. It's that he's making himself comfortable. Mitch leaning on the ladder. He's not connected to Avi just because he's leaning on the ladder. And yet, you do get the sense that these 5 people don't like each other. They're just creating characters for the purposes of this song, and I actually think that's really well done. I also love the lighting in this. I think the choice to have the standard lamp on the left side of the screen is really interesting. I'm assuming that's what's casting this little bit of sort of halo light on the side of Avi's face. It's such a small touch. There's not much there. It's not really affecting things. There's clearly light coming in from the sides, but how that light is, the intensity that they've used, you've got this sort of interesting light on Scott's face as well, where there's a little bit coming from the one side that kind of gives there are these slight highlights here and there, but nothing really stands out. Even though Kirsty's singing, the only reason Kirsty stands out to this is the fact that she's wearing white, and so is a bit more prominent than the other members, but then she's against a slightly off-white background, and so to a certain extent she blends into that too. There's no real focus pulling going on here, the way that Shallow, and I'm comparing that largely because it was 2 cello songs, but it's also a really interesting comparison. They had all those splashes of gold everywhere that pulled your eye to here or to here or to here, and each new shot, there was a new focal point. This is the complete opposite of that. And this is obviously an old video. Look how young they all look. This is obviously an older video. Their cinematographic technique of the people that they're working with and the quality of what they're producing has obviously gone up since these days. This is still a beautiful video. It should not be underestimated. And I think what they've done with it is really, really good. Anyway, let's listen to the song. But this is it's a very striking first image that sets the tone throughout. I love that choice. The first 4 notes of the song aren't vocal at all, which for an a cappella group, I don't know how much Kevin had played the cello by this point, but for an a cappella group, if you'd been told what to expect, and if somebody was just expounding on the greatness of Pentatonix and then said, here, let me play you a song, and this is what they played first, 4 notes from a cello being the first thing you hear would not be what they expect. It's a great start. And the simplicity, I love this, the fact that they're all keeping very straight faces. They don't show a lot of emotion, except for the points where they themselves, as a singer in the group, hit an emotional point. And just this simple movement of the pluck. not much happening. It's a lovely visual to start on.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
And it's only here, the U followed by the note from Arvi, where we actually get the tonic note of this bum. It's not the vocal entry. It comes out the bum, bum, bum coming from the cello. We don't know it's the tonic yet. We haven't had anything yet to set us into that key. And so the tonic security isn't there yet. And then Arvi comes in on the he comes in on the 6th. 6, 7, 1. So he comes in on the 6th. So we're now set in potentially in a relative minor. We could be in the relative minor of the key we're going to end up in. We could also be hearing the 3rd and 5th of the subdominant, the 4th of the key that we end up in. We're not quite sure where we're going. Say something. And now we're a bit more secure. Say something is the 3rd and the 2nd. We're pretty sure now it's either the relative minor or the major. The relative major, I guess, because we don't know yet. He goes down to the 4th. So what we've established there is we've entered on the subdominant. We don't know it until here. And in fact, what we may have done is entered on... I'm going to talk in C major terms because it's the easiest way. I don't know what key we're in here, but it's the easiest way to talk about it. It's like we've entered on A minor, gone down to F major for this, and then we're going to settle here. And because of the tonality, say something, it's not say something, we now establish ourselves into the major tonic. That's a really nice opening to this. And the way they've revealed it, the way they've peeled it down from the actual tonic that we can't place yet, down to the 6th, down to the 3rd, the 6th becomes the 4th, and then we go down to 1 and sit on it. That's a lovely way to start this song. I really like that. And here we hear, now we get that confirmation. Yes, it was the relative minor we came in on, because we've just hit it again right here. And then the simplicity of that going on. And I love this call and response we get of Kirsty singing her line, and then Scott and Mitch coming in with the harmony in the background. This is so well constructed.
I'll be the one if you want me to.
One interesting thing I've just noticed as well, and I think it's unlikely this was a mistake. I think it's been done quite deliberately, because I feel like you couldn't have missed this when setting the lighting up. We get the movement of the bow as a shadow on Kirsty's face, so there's something kind of flickering, and it's a subtle movement that we know there's movement, because Kevin's arguably making the largest movement right now because he's doing something with his hands, but that shadow just draws your attention slightly to Kirsty's face as well. And it's such a small thing, but it's actually incredibly effective.
Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving up on you.
And it's not until right there that they open up. All this time, we're getting an from Arvi. We're getting oohs from Scott and Mitch. We're not getting a lot of loud sound at this point in time. And then, I'm giving up. And all of a sudden, it opens up into this sort of most important line of the song. At the same time, Kevin goes down and starts bowing the cello. Ah, lovely evolution.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'm feeling so small.
And this is so nice too. Now we've got this kind of we've got pairs almost. We've got I assume it's Mitch and Kevin that are kind of doing their thing together with those lines there. Scott and Kirsty doing their thing together. It's so lovely having that split there. And then Avi obviously holding everything together underneath. Love it.
I'm feeling so small. Your worries over my head. I know.
And this that Kevin's producing at this point, it's such a nice sound to have here, where it's been made to be distant. We can hear it. It's not like it's so far away we can't hear it, but the reverb that's been placed onto it, I feel like there's a little bit of the bass has been taken out, so we're just hearing this, but we're hearing it like it's not quite there. It's a lovely way to introduce the vocal percussion in a way that brings it in lightly and allows it so many places to go.
Your worries over my head. I know nothing at all. And I stumble and fall.
It's just, this is so, the richness that starts coming into this is wonderful. The way it's all been arranged, we're now getting, you know, the cello harmony coming in there. We've got the vocal harmony in time, like singing together with Kirsty. And yet, over all of it, you never lose sight of the melody. It's always there in the forefront, and there's just this beautiful warmth almost coming up to support. It's not a bare sound. You could have made a song like this deliberately sound quite bare in order to kind of, make the lead feel a bit more stranded than they're allowing Kirsty to feel here. And what's so nice is it's this push that builds us to that emotional climax we're going to get in, a couple of minutes' time. And it gives this song so far to go. I love it. I love with the sound that Avi's creating as well. He's giving a little bit of vibrato. He's giving a little bit of this. There's these small breaks. Not there. Yeah, he's giving us this little bit of push and pull. He's emulating what Kevin's doing. We're getting the sense that Avi's essentially replicating a cello sound with his voice. And it's so nice pairing that into the sound of having a cello playing in this piece. This is great. And I only realized here, this little section here, it was only because I saw Kevin's face, I realized, I'd clocked it, but it's only there that I realized that the vocal percussion has picked up. He's doing a little bit more now. It's not just... And you know it's there. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, it has. But it's not so to the front that it gets in the way of anything else happening around it. Lovely stuff.
Still learning to love, just starting to crawl. Say something, I'm giving up.
And there, this entrance into the second chorus now, we start to get the full-on vocal percussion. Everything's beginning to build. We feel like we've climbed a couple more rungs up the ladder to reach this full sound we're going to hit at the end. And I have to... Like, Kirsty's voice is perfect for this song. She's got this really nice balance of having just a little bit of cry in the back of so many of these vocals, but it's never really getting out. But it's like she's restraining it, holding it in. And it's only at the end where she has that beautiful wail sound that she lets out. It's stunning. Her control and her use of her voice for this song is brilliant.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
I also love what we're doing with the camera here, where we're getting these cuts. We just see enough of somebody to see them have a little moment, and then we go back to a wide shot or a panning shot, or focus in on Kirsty while she's singing her lines. The use of focus that the editor has put into this is really, really impressive.
I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you.
Also, the use of, I say focus previously in terms of who we're looking at, but the use of actual focus too. Like this, you can, here we've got the standard lamp in the front, the forefront of the, if I just go back a literal half second, you can see it more so. In front of Mitch's shoulder here, and yet it's completely out of focus. It doesn't get in the way. We just get the sense that it's a part of the scene. And again here, I love that we start with Avi out of focus and shift in a little bit, but he's never, it's a very tight focus. This is in focus, but the wider part of his face isn't. And it's only very fleeting, but I love that we're kind of getting this push and pull with how well, like, and yet you get the wide shot, of course, is completely clear. Makes total sense. I think that the use that they've got of camera techniques here is really good. Oh, lovely. Sorry, I meant to jump back on that. Oh. And so there you have three people singing Say Something I Give Up On You. Like, this chorus is so much bigger than we were at before. We still have the vocal percussion, the cello, and then Avi's rich notes underneath really kind of boosting this thing. They've gone so far already from where we started, and there's so much further to go. And that's one of the nice things about starting a song like this off really quiet, is you give yourself a lot of space to play with.
And I will swallow my pride. You're the one.
I love it. Sorry, pardon, the notification popped up there. I love the tone that we've switched to here. Avi's voice is gorgeous. I love that he's giving us this. I still haven't really heard super deep Avi. I love that we're getting this lovely register from him here. It's a great place for him to be singing this. And the support that's behind him, because he's a little higher, we're allowed, it's giving us space to have this slightly higher harmony that's happening here without detaching what's going on from the melody. We're not so far, if he was an octave lower, we'd be so far away from it. It might sound a little bit disparate, but we're not getting that. It still feels very cohesive, but he's still got, sorry, I'm going to turn those off. It's one of those days where folks are working late. Yeah, it's still cohesive, but he's still got room to play with as well. It's really, really nice. But it also allows that full-scale upper harmony to kick in as well, which is something, you know, when you've got a bass who's singing your key melody, it opens up all that space above. It's really nice.
One pride.
And the choice to go back to pizzicato here, to have Kevin playing these arpeggios plucked, rather than playing that, you know, we've gone from having that bowed sound. It enhances the pullback. It enhances the fact that we've gone, hang on a second, we're going to take a step back here and bring it down for a moment. Lovely stuff.
Pride. You're the one that I love, and I'm saying goodbye.
Again, a little bit of kind of wail with him there too. Not as much as Kirsty's going to hit shortly, but I'm saying goodbye. Those kind of, the re-onset, the it's not There's a little bit of re-onset that he's giving it. It's kind of playing into that cello-ish sort of thing that he was doing earlier, but it's also giving so much more emotion to the words that he's singing here of I'm saying goodbye. You know, that is a sad thing to do, and so adding that sort of cry into the tone of the voice that he's got there is so good. That's such a nice choice too, that as we come out of his verse into the chorus, you still hear him hanging on with that whoa, whatever the notes were he was singing, but he's still got a little bit of front and centerness that fades as we get into that end of that first line. That's lovely. And then Mitch comes in. And again, this lovely thing of we have those three say somethings, and yet you get that moment of focus from the camera, just looking at that person, and then we cut back out of it again. Lovely stuff.
Say something. I'll be the one if you want me to.
And then we cut back to that full R, and we're back to the wide shot. It's nice. It's it's a little on the nose, sure, but it works for what this video is doing. I think it sort of gives those momentary bits of focus to specific lines, and the lines in this, they're not just say something for the sake of saying it again. They're saying it, and they're each engaging with their own emotional sort of output for this. And so, yeah, we should see that. I think it becomes more of a focus than it would be if it was just a repeated line, which is not what they're doing here. Good stuff.
Say something. I'm giving up on you.
I love the use of reverb there. We get that really, because he comes off up really quickly. We get the up and you are the two notes we really hear. We hear it throughout, but we really hear it on those two. And it just gives this, again, this kind of sense of loneliness to what he's singing there, because you get that sense that he's alone in a big room, almost. And it's not, it's just working to enhance, the meaning of the song here. This is great, and I love that we just snap into this breakdown, and all of a sudden we're going to start building it back up again. It's like we've gone back to, this is the same way that it started with Kevin plucking the cello. We've now got this say something, excuse me, hiccups. But it's that same effect again, so it's like we've gone back to the beginning and we're building back up from there all over again.
Say something. I'm giving up on you. I'll be that one if you want me to.
And again, and now you can hear there's obviously differences. Firstly, this is vocal to begin with, not a cello. Secondly, Avi comes in on the same notes he came in before, da da, but then he goes to the want me to, which is not where we went last time. And so we've kind of got ourselves into tonality a little bit faster than we did previously. I just love this as a subtle change from what happened in the first instance.
Say something. I'm giving up on you.
And this lovely, slightly more embellished line coming from Mitch over the top. It's such a nice touch to bring that in at this point. And now we have this lovely established harmony singing the core line of this song. And it's in so much space. The fact that it's just the three of them, the vocal percussion has dropped out, the cello has dropped out. None of these notes is hanging on, physically sung. A little bit of reverb, sure. But there's so much space around it now.
I'll be the one if you want me to. Say.
And that allows that beautiful build right there. Kirsty comes back in with her line, and then this zoom, this sort of building. It's almost like that sort of reverse cymbal effect, but it's the cello coming back in, leaning into the note more and more as the note goes through, and then it comes back in. We get the vocal percussion re-entering, and now we've built ourselves back up. Not all the way. We're still going to go further, but we're back up to full chorus again. Ah, this is so well constructed.
Me too.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. Oh.
And this is so great because we then bring in the chorus, and I'm saying the chorus now, referencing everybody behind Kirsty, stays on that say something. You've got that slow repetition of that going on. So it's now become essentially an ostinato under this chorus, and yet she comes in at full delivering the chorus line at full speed. Say something, I'm giving. And so she is able to deliver that line and then start this kind of the beginning of this wailing, this sadness that's just vocalized over the top of also being able to sing the lyrics. This is so well done. And now we're at full tilt. And I love the fact that even despite that, the vocal percussion is still relatively in the back. The voices, the emotion of the voices is doing the majority of the work here. Supported by vocal percussion, supported by cello, but supported by those things. The vocal, the spoken word that is now sung is the forefront of the song. This is great. And then this beautiful, my goodness, Kirsty's line here is just stunning. And I love that through that whole first line of this chorus, you get so much emotion just pouring out of Kirsty. And then the second line, the actual line delivery of the line of the chorus comes solely from the backing singers. And Kirsty doesn't do anything until after they have sung their entire line. Oh, lovely stuff. And now even the cello line, da 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 da, like there's everything is picked up. Everything is at its most busy, and yet somehow this is so clean. It's really, really well done. The mixing on this is great. I really, really like the balance that they've struck with it all, and yet the focus is still on Kirsty, even as you have this incredible stuff. Scott, Mitch, and Avi behind doing such incredible work. With the harmonies of this, and indeed a little bit of the melody, allowing Kirsty to fly away over the top of them. This is such an incredible showcase for her, and for the group as a whole. Actually, I think this is a great demonstration of their cohesiveness, as all of their songs are. But I think this one is particularly good at seeing how they work together, and yet it is also particularly good at pushing Kirsty out in front. I love that we get this counterbalance between Say Something being sung by Kirsty and with the vocal percussion, but then more voices in the response to the call. Say something, say something. Yeah, so cello, vocal percussion, and Kirsty, and then Mitch, Scott, and Avi as the response. So you essentially have three elements on either side. But even though there's only one person singing the line in when Kirsty's singing, and there's three at the other time, Kirsty still has that punch. Again, beautiful mixing, beautiful voicing, beautiful arrangement. And then we have this amazing moment, and I didn't see it coming, and I loved it first time, and I love it even more this time. You finally get Kevin singing a line, and it's the last line of the song. It's so unexpected, because he's done vocal percussion the whole way through. I don't know if he was in the earlier stuff. I got the impression not. And I love that suddenly we hear him solo. As the final part, we hear a voice we haven't heard before. It makes it almost more poignant. Like it's been, the voices in his head arguing the whole time, and finally he vocalizes the thought. I don't know, I'm stretching there, but I love what they've done with that as the end of the arrangement, and then that beautiful, is it even a harmonic? I'm not familiar enough with cello registers to know if that's a note he's playing there or if it's actually a harmonic. But just having that single note being the thing that's fading out and a little bit of ambient noise, but just that, the single note, it's not the vocals, we're leaving the piece on the cello. But it's only very subtly, because he sings right up until the end. And it's only in the decay at the end of the song that the cello is the thing that's left. Oh, this is great. I really enjoyed this. What an excellent, excellent cover. They did great work with this one. I think it was an excellent showcase for everybody involved, a particularly good showcase for Kirsty. Like, that was incredible from her. And I think this is, yeah, that's utterly beautiful. Well played, Pentatonix. Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't say at the beginning, but I do owe thanks to, amongst other folks, Michael F., PJB, Chuck McCaslin Sr., Yo Clark, and The Chimoji, all of whom recommended this to me at one point or another. I think others as well, but those were the ones that I have written down. So thank you to you for recommending this. I really appreciate that. And thank you to you for being here with me, especially if you're still here at the end of the video. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang with me and hear my thoughts on this song. It is quite wonderful. I'm going to go and listen to that again. Yeah, I really, really appreciate you being here. Please do like this video if you've enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to pick how often you're notified. And if you would care to, head over to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, where you can donate to support the channel if that's something that you would like to do. And yeah, I had a great time with this one. I hope I brought something to the table maybe you hadn't thought of, or even just brought you the song, or even the group. If this happens to be the first Pentatonix video you've seen. If it is, I hope you went and checked out the original first. Of course, it's linked in the description below. And yeah, this was wonderful. I was in the mood for something a little more downbeat today, and this delivered in wonderful style. So yeah, really, really enjoyed that. Thank you very much again. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you take care and have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Thank you very much, and bye for now.